You might not be facing orcs and dark lords, but there are days when your business may feel just as epic. Thankfully, The Lord of the Rings has more to offer than sword fights and second breakfasts. Although second breakfasts are kind of nice. In this episode of Coffee with Karma, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 lessons from Middle Earth that will help you step into your courage, claim your visibility, build a fellowship around your mission so that your book doesn't just sit on a shelf. It sets your business on fire, but not in a bad Sauron way, in a good way. Hi, my name is Carma Spence, and I help executive coaches, business leaders, big thinkers, and visionary leaders write, publish, and market client attracting books so that they can grow their business. And I do this inside of a container that is fun. It's like a Disneyland for authors with different time theme areas that help you accomplish very specific goals towards your author's journey. If you're watching this video on YouTube, then please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and ring the bell so that the YouTube algorithm knows that this is quality video content that lots of people who want to write a book to build their business will want to watch. You do yourself a solid, you do me a solid, you do them a solid. Win, win, win. So let's get to these lessons from Middle Earth, lessons from Lord of the Rings, which you may have read or you may have seen in the movies. You will recognize these things because it's across the board. So, lesson number 1, build a fellowship, not a solo mission. Frodo didn't go it alone. He had Samwise Gamgees with him. And neither should you. You need a community or at least a right-hand person to help you, because when you are a business owner doing it all yourself, believe me, I know how hard it is to do it all yourself. And it's not fun. It takes some of the pleasure out of your business away because you don't get enough time to spend doing what you do well, and you don't get enough time to be visionary. It's like when you have your fellowship, you can be Gandalf and go do Gandalfy stuff and not have to do all the stuff that, oh, what was his name? The guys from Gandor. We'll call them the guys from Gandor. How about that? Totally forgot their name all of a sudden. Boromir. Boromir. Poor Boromir. He got seduced by the dark side. And I'm switching over to Star Wars in the middle of a conversation. Okay. Yes, way too geeky. Anyway, when you surround yourself with strategic collaborators, such as editors, marketers, designers who believe in your mission has a greater chance of success. Number 2, visibility requires a Gandalf moment. You need to be bold in the key moments. You need to have that moment where you stand up to the Balrog and say, "You shall not pass." This applies to imposter syndrome as well. The Balrog of author entrepreneurs is imposter syndrome. You need to stand up to it and say that it will not pass because you are good enough. If you've got the calling on your heart to do good in the world, you have what it takes to do good in the world. Just going to say that. Number 3, don't hide in the Shire. The hobbits, they kind of liked their little life, and they felt if they just stayed in their shower, no one else would bother them. But that's not what happened. That's not what happened at all. And many entrepreneurs publish and then retreat. They write their book, they get it out in the world, and then they retreat. I know, I've been there because, going through the whole process of writing and editing and publishing a book is exhausting, even when you're having fun doing it. And then you need to market and market and market and market some more. And that's part of the reason why you need a fellowship around you is because you can't do it on your own. It's too tiring. But if you hide in your shire will shrink. Your shire will be invaded by things you don't want invading it. So you need to get the word out about your book. That's why marketing is an ongoing thing. It starts when you start writing your book and it ends at some point in the distant future when that book is no longer relevant to you or your business. If you want some help with figuring out all this path, go into the show notes below and grab my Write Book Roadmap. It's free. It's an interactive Google spreadsheet that lists, I think, of like 88 different micro steps that you can take from idea to marketed book and beyond. And it details each of them so that you only need to focus on one baby step at a time. It makes it so much easier, so much easier. And all you have to do is go down to carmaspence.com/write book roadmap. Number 4, beware the Gollum trap. That's your perfection obsession. My precious, precious. He loved his ring. Well, when you are polishing your book, you might as well pretend your book is the ring. At some point, you just need to say, it's good enough and get it out. Many authors treat their draft like it's their precious. And they polish it and polish it and polish it. Sometimes they don't even finish it because they're so busy polishing the first chapter, they never get to chapter number 2. That's not how you write a book. I mean, I suppose you can if you want it to take 30 years. No, the way you write a book and get it out in the world quickly is you just write the first draft and it will be messy. That first draft will suck. I have yet to write a first draft that was awesome. They never are. They never are, no matter how. And I'm a good writer. I've been writing since I was 4, and I still write really messy first drafts. In fact, sometimes I'll take a first draft and I'll be reading through it and I'm like, what was I thinking? And I have to completely redo it or sections of it. So just get the first draft out and then do the editing. I read on LinkedIn yesterday, there's an author that I've been following, and she mentioned that editing was way more painful and harder than writing the book. And for some people, that is absolutely true. It is definitely a longer process than the writing if you do it this way, where you just brain up, then edit. But it's where the magic happens. Writing the book isn't the part where you get all the brilliance out. It's where you get all the ideas out. And then when you edit, what editing does, it's like it takes this big, ugly geode and it slices it in half and it polishes up. So you've got this beautiful amethyst. It's like it takes the coal that looks like a big rock and it polishes it. And now you've got a diamond. That's what editing does. And yes, that means there's a lot of sanding and leaving it on the sanding machine and tumbling it in a rock machine. And, I don't know why I went with the rock motif. I just did. But those beautiful polished rocks? You know how long it takes to get to that? Days, days. That's how they get it all polished nice and like that. As they put it in like this tumbler machine or a sandy machine for days. Well, editing is like that. It takes a little while. And it often means deconstructing and reconstructing your draft. It means having someone other than you take a look at it because they will see things that you didn't see. But don't get so tied to making it perfect that it never happens. Okay? And number 4, lead like Aragorn, even when you feel like Strider. So when Aragorn was Strider, he was just, one of the riders, and he didn't feel like he was a king. He didn't feel like he was kingly material, and he had no interest in it. And you may not feel ready for the crown. Do we ever? Do we ever really? We think we are, and then it happens and we're like, "Oh, that was different than I imagined it." And that's okay. That's the way life is. So, your audience needs your leadership now. So get your book out now while the idea is hot in your head. Get it out now. Get it out into the world where the people who need it can see it. Because if you keep waiting to be ready, you will stay Strider forever and never claim the kingship that you deserve, or queenship, however you roll. Because confidence doesn't grow through waiting for perfect timing. It grows by getting in the trenches and doing. In fact, that's how Strider became a good king. He was there protecting Frodo. He was there fighting for the people of Middle Earth against the Dark Lord and his hordes. He was in the trenches doing the thing and was so forged into the king he was meant to be. And that can be you too. Not that you need to fight the Dark Lord and his hordes, but you do need to get the book out and start marketing it and show up. So there you go. 5 messages for Middle Earth that will help you be a better author. I will see you next week when I will have more good stuff. And if you ever have an idea that you'd like me to talk about in a video, drop it in a comment below because I do that. I will take your ideas and I will run with them. See you next week. This is Carma Spence saying ciao for now.